And this is to commemorate the 2023 International Day of Families, which of course is being celebrated today. Have you heard anything like that before? Well, it's nothing, just more than trying to attach importance to families. And that was why in 1993, the UN tried to create this day to ensure that families are talked about, the things that go on in families, and then how we should have a good family. But of course, you know that it's a good family good families that produce better society. Okay, that's exactly what we are caught out for this morning. And I have some family, members that have joined me to look at this. The first person is Barrister Chigozie Nnabo. Okay, sorry, Barrister Chizoba Nnabo. Barrister Chizoba Nnabo is the president of Civilization of Law Foundation. He is also a father and a motivational speaker. Good morning, Barrister Chizoba.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Anambra.
Okay, and then the next person is Onyi Edokwa. Onyi Edokwa is the coordinator Young Mothers Forum. Did I get your name right? Young Couples Forum, not Young Mothers. Okay, thank you very much. All right, you're welcome, Onyi.
Thank you very much. Always happy to be here.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, you have heard no call yet. Let's look at what the topic we have today before you start calling. Barrister. Barrister Nnabo. Okay, I need to change the name here so that I don't call you the wrong name again. Okay, Barrister Nnabo. Yes. Okay, Chizoba. Okay, let's see. So when you say family, how do we define family here, please?
Okay, thank you. Well, family simply defined is a man and a woman united in marriage with or without children. I say this because marriage is what inaugurates a family, and children are gifts from God. They are not, to have a child is not a right. It is purely God's gift. And I would like to add that marriage is not a union of persons or a group of persons, as some people who seek to deconstruct, destroy, or deform marriage define it. Marriage and family are the oldest institutions in the world, and governments and public authorities have an obligation to recognize the identity of the family and of marriage as a union of one man and one woman united in marriage with or without children.
With or without children. Oh, really? Yes. Do you agree to that?
To an extent.
Go ahead. We need to hear you louder, please.
Anyway, from my own perspective, I would say that family is a group of two or more people who are related by either birth, marriage, adoption, adoption. So let me just stop with adoption. Why I said partially, because some people might not be married, but circumstances might bring them together and to establish a family. It can be siblings without parents, that their parents are no longer there, and because they are together, or collective of relatives living together, they're related, either by blood or something, but because they're staying together in unity, there's a tie, there's a link, there's a bond, they're family. So, it has been issue, seen from the aspect of the biblical aspect of faith. That's where marriage comes in, because what is God stated is marriage, and from marriage, family began to grow and then began to come in. But in our society now, it's not basically marriage that defines family. It's bonds and ties. It can be adoption. It can be related, just like I said before, maybe circumstances brought them together, maybe the parents are not there. So if the parents are not there, maybe orphans are living together. Do you understand me? There's no marriage there because the parents that are married, that were married, are no longer there. But because they are together, as
Okay, like what you
siblings,
have in orphanages.
orphanages, God bless you.
Okay.
Like what you have in orphanages. They are there as a family. With a supervisor who's not even related to them. Do you understand me? But because they are together, everything, they are united, they do everything together, they bond together, they look after each other and...
Okay, we are seeing a different dimension of family today. Okay, let's look at the importance of family from whichever angle, whether the family is built by a man and a woman coming together as husband and wife, or they find themselves in an enclosure, like you said, and bonded together like family. So what is the importance attached to this family that, the society will say that this is why we should have this? Okay? Yes, Barrister Chizoba.
Okay. Well, I just want to make a point before I proceed.
Right.
You see, the danger in defining the family as a union or group of persons is that when you give such a definition, it accommodates homosexual unions. And we know it is no family. Family is a natural institution instituted by God, and it predates public authority. So it's not a matter of the government legislating on same-sex marriage or whatever. You know, the issue of those in orphanages, that one is different. It's a different thing totally. But we are talking about family, you know, in the strict sense of the word. And then having said that, family is a very important institution in the life of society.
Before you go on,
yes,
the society is dynamic, and it evolves over time. That there are extensions of what it used to be, like the original family of a man and a woman coming together. Are you saying there could be no other setting that will bring people together that you can say that this is a family? Okay.
As to accommodate like homosexual unions?
No, not necessarily other areas, but that should be one of it anyway, because it's happening in the society that we are in. Okay. If a certain society said that this is what they want, and it has formed part of what they recognize as family. So we here might not even have any say to that. But what we are trying to look at, the gathering of people that formed a union that you can say that this is family, you relate to this family, you relate to this, you relate to that. And then when they come together, they form the society that we live in. That's what I want us to look at now, not discriminating anybody.
Okay, no, it's not a matter of discrimination. Family is not a creation of government. Like I said, it predates government. It is God that created family, and God defined family. So it's not a matter of whether some people are, whether in some jurisdictions homosexual unions are recognized as families or not. It doesn't make it to be right. Truth is not determined
even if it is legal.
Even if it's legal, such laws should not be obeyed. Yes, there is a limit to obedience to public authority. It is not absolute. Yes, of course. Now, if like I said, truth is not determined by opinion poll. Truth is constant, and God has made it that family is a union of a man and a woman, and that is how it is. Having said that, let me proceed to your question on the importance of the family.
Okay.
Yeah, family is the fundamental unit of society. It is the most intimate social environment. In the family, children is a place to welcome, nurture, and protect members. It is in the family that a child learns the basic human values. These include the values of obedience, tolerance, compassion, solidarity, hard work, and so on and so forth. So it is the family that prepares an individual and launches him or her into society to become a responsible citizen of the state. So family is very important institution. Without the family being healthy, of course our society will be in disarray. So for us to have a healthy society, we need to have a healthy family.
How do we have that healthy family? When do we say that the family is healthy?
When family is healthy, when it lives up to expectations of the maker of the family. First of all, a family that is healthy, has solidarity. The mother takes care of the children, the father takes care of the family, the child takes care of the elderly parents. When you see such things, it is a healthy family. Unlike when parents advance in age, they are abandoned by their children. And sometimes they facilitate their death through euthanasia, or what they call mercy killing. A family that is healthy has quality time. Members of the family have quality time for the members. Parents have quality time for their children. They don't just abandon them for career. They make out quality time to stay with their children, because the duty, imposed on family, on parents precisely, on education, cannot be satisfactorily discharged without giving quality time. It is not something you delegate. Parenting is a very serious business. It's not something you delegate to maids or nannies. It's an apostolate of presence. That is to say that parents should always be there for their children. A healthy family has a family culture. Like they have time for prayers, they eat together, family meals, they have digital boundaries. Not when they are eating or praying, somebody will be pressing his phone. So these are part of what makes a family healthy.
Okay. We are still looking at the importance of family. Edokwe, go ahead.
Importance of family. I want to say something also before I continue. I had to define family as not just an institution based on marriage, just because I want us to strike a balance based on what we have in the society today. It doesn't change the fact that the family is an institution instituted by God. And there is expectations, just like everything that God created. He does that for a purpose. God is a God of purpose. He doesn't just do things for the fun of it. Let me just do something. When he created man for a purpose. And when he even created the firmament, is for a purpose. Such as the same thing with family. He created my family for a purpose. Was just supposed to bond together, that nurture, bring forth as a human being, because they can't keep creating every day. You wake up, mold clay, and give breath to the clay. So there's, as men, man and woman need to come together. And that is for that comfort, for each other to be able to fulfill purpose. So the fundamental basis for marriage, for family, is one, to nurture, to train, to show love, to guide and to direct. And when that is not there, you cannot do that except if there is mutual respect and mutual love. So for family to be able to the main responsibility of family, or the role of family, just like you asked me, is first of all to bring out individuals that will live up to God's expectation for creating family. And I can tell you why our society is the way it is today is because we have deviated from God's original plan in creating family. A child, parents need to be there. They need
And
to
what
first,
was that original plan?
just like I said before, is for him is to expand the society. Say, go to the world, and multiply, increase and multiply. Do you understand me? And it's expected that because he handed over Emmanuel, as you are increasing and multiplying, get those children you are bringing into the world, make them to understand. Look at what, as in, to guide them in a way that
the template
of family, so that the family, general, the family, the society as a whole will be healthy. The children need to learn love from family, respect from family, patience from family, even praying, even fearing God. Do you understand me? Do they need to have, as in, know how to know boundaries from family? There's a lot that most important is nurture. The family is a place of nurturing. When the family do not nurture very well, the society will be unhealthy.
Nurture in terms of what you have outlined. Teach the children how to pray, how to relate to God, how to relate to one another, love among themselves, and a whole lot of things.
Patience,
okay, that is the way
tolerance.
Tolerance. Okay, let's talk about parenting generally, because these ones are just how you bring up your children and whatever. There are a whole lot that is in parenting, and these days society is saying that the parents have failed, because the decay you see in the society is the outcome of wrong parenting. Chizoba, where did you get it wrong?
Okay, thank you. Well, you see, many people no longer prepare for marriage. Marriage is a very serious business. For one to enter into marriage, marriage is not, a person who wants to enter into marriage is not merely qualified because of age. Even after that you still need to go through a course, marriage course. Mm-hmm. In many Christian denominations, there is what is called marriage course. And you go through it. But then, marriage course has 3 stages. There is the remote stage, which begins in the family. Goes through childhood, adolescence, and then there is the one that starts with the engagement, which is the remote, which is the proximate, from the engagement point. And then the catechesis that are involved, tailored, to meet the demands of people engaged to marry in various Christian denominations. And then also you have the immediate, preparations, which is close to the time of wedding. You do things like going to the marriage registry and then doing other things, the rituals involved. Before the marriage is eventually solemnized. So, but what we find is that many people who get into marriage were not prepared for that. Think of children who were abandoned by their parents, or children who were exposed to bad examples of their parents. How can such people succeed in marriage? No one gives what he has not. Parenting is very important because it is there that the parents prepare the children for their future vocations, including marriage.
Well, before we get to what we do with our children and then how they derail out of our hands, let's look at the foundation of this marriage, like you outlined, when you get engaged, when you get prepared to wed, and the wedding and the consummation of the marriage proper, and then raising of the children. But I know that all these things did not happen while let me start from the grandparents, okay? Because some of us are parents wedded, the grandparents, and then the ancestors down the line, okay? But they had better families, better marriages, brought up better children. That's why I asked, where did we miss it? They didn't go to church. Nobody taught them on how to make a good home, no catechism, no marriage lesson and all. But they built very unique families that produce unique individuals that failed along the way. So where did we miss it? When did it start, when did it start getting this way it is now? Okay?
All right. I tell you, those our forefathers, those our parents, our grandmothers and grandfathers who were married, went through marriage preparation in their own way in our culture. For instance, the children, the girls were always there when their mothers were cooking to learn not only how to cook, but how to manage the home. They go to farm with their parents. So children were prepared even more in the olden days. And then they also factored in God, because it's very important. You cannot divorce God in your marriage and it will work. It is not possible. Most of them were chaste, because in our culture, it is entrenched that when you pay the dowry, you don't just grab the woman and go to bed. It is not done. In our culture, there is this sense of modesty and respect for the sacred, and respect for the laws. But unfortunately, in this day and time, you find out that most of the people coming for marriage have already known themselves. Some are cohabiting, and research has shown that 50% of those who cohabit, that divorce rate is 50% among those who cohabited before marriage. Yes, that's what the research says. And also, in the olden days, there is what we call ozuzu. If a girl, is betrothed, she is sent to a virtuous woman to train her, to show her how to be a good wife. These are fast eroding. And I also want to mention the fourth stage that is very important but lacking in our marriage of today. That is accompaniment of newlywed spouses. There is need for newlywed spouses to be accompanied along the journey of their marital life. This can be done through marriage encounter, where elderly or experienced couple, with the help of maybe their churches, help these people, mentor them.
Mentorship.
Yes, mentor them is very important.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Mrs. Edokwe, we are still looking at where we got it wrong. Like I said, that we had better marriages in the olden days than now. Better families, okay, because we are looking at family. Better families, well-organized families that never killed themselves, never struggled over an obi and all the rest of things, okay, properties of their father. Maybe there were not much then to grab, but then the lands were there. Okay, I was talking to somebody that said that the things that are dividing us now are more than what it used to be, because in those days we used to have communal lands, okay, which many families are owing this land. So this is what is bringing you together, that is holding you together. So, but these days, people, to your tent, O Israel, where did we miss it?
Thank you very much. I think my brother, he's done justice to your question, but I just have to chip in one or two things. We got it all wrong when we deviated from our norms, our culture, and our way of life. And we decided to start adopting and imbibing every foreign culture that will come across. And what are those our cultures? Like he rightly said, Ozuzu. I grew up knowing, as witnessing women coming for us in our neighborhood. There's one woman there from Oga. I kept on seeing young girls coming to live in her house. I thought maybe they are just relatives until at the stage. I think when I got to secondary school, because I was a bit of age, so I was able to relate to one of them that now told me that she's here to be trained because she has gotten married. All those things are no longer in existence now. 2, the mothers are no longer even there to train their children. We prepare them for wedding. We prepare them for tradition, for white wedding, traditional marriages, but we don't actually prepare them for marriage, for family living. You can take, for instance, a situation whereby a child at the age of 11 years should be whisked out to boarding school. After boarding school, she will write JAMB, because now you write JAMB in school. You write JAMB in boarding school. Once you come out, by next September, you've entered university. From university, you live all throughout the time in university, like 4 or 5 years, depending on the course you are offered or you took up to do. Then, immediately after service, from youth, just straight to youth service, because these days it doesn't pile up again. Once you do well in school, you are going for youth service. And from youth service, somebody will now, the lady will just will come back to the house with a man that she has seen a man she wants to get married to. You look at all this time, there was never a time she spent time with the mother to even understand what is happening, how to live, how to comport yourself as a woman. If you see that all that she knew is everything that she saw in the internet. Because all those times she was away from home, she had access to internet. And whatever she sees there is what she believes that marriage and home should be all about. So we've lost the family value, the time to train our children, our culture, and most importantly, the fear of God is eluding us. Because then, although the Christianity was not as popular as it is today, but the point is that they fear God in their own, whatever they believe is God, then they fear it in that home circle. Do you understand me? But whatever they believe there as their God, they fear it in that circle at home. The Christians then, they were more serious. They understand they fear God. Look at what God said that marriage should be. Even when the children, even when those girls, they are in the house, mothers are no longer there. What kind of mothers do we have these days? The mothers that want to measure up with their husband. The mothers that believe that there's something they are struggling. They're never there, always looking at socialites. They're after everything, we're after everything. So much that we neglect the basics. Let me tell you one thing. No matter what you teach a child, the main thing, the most important, what that child imbibes is the practical aspect of the home. It's the practical aspect of the home. Parents, how are they living? The parents of these days, because even we parents, we want to measure up, we want to struggle, we are chasing so many things, and then we left social media to be the guide for our children.
Not even the house helps.
Not even, no. The nannies, no. When it comes to marriage and building families, it's not even the nannies. It's the internet. It's the celebrities. Because we want to live like them. The other day I was discussing with somebody and I told the person, I remember when we were small, then I grew up in Enugu. You see a young lady that wearing very tight trousers. You see children in their home, coming out at their balcony, they will be singing for the lady.
I know.
Yes.
Raising hair.
Yeah, no.
Raising her.
No, not that they will be shaming as in
okay. Kind of bullying her.
If you wear heavy makeup in Enugu, then I'm talking about early 80s. You see, they will be, but these days, if you cover your, then everybody wants to cover up. Those few ladies that dress that glamorous, they know them, they look at them and say, Okwenu.
Hey, but and nobody wants to be labeled that.
No, these days, it's just normal. And even the mothers in the home.
Okay.
So I'm trying to, that's not what we are talking about. I'm trying to say that generally things has gone
things have gone back. Okay,
bad.
let's see what we'll do. No, before you come in place, we'll talk to some people on the street. We're going to take a short break here.
All right.
And when we'll come back, we'll start looking at the solutions. What do we do? How do we make amends to make sure that we have good families again? Okay. All right.
Family has a lot to do with influencing the society because the family is the bedrock of socialization. Socialization starts with the family. So, and then, if the foundation is faulty, then any house that has a faulty foundation will really collapse. But if the foundation is firm and solid, then that building will surely stand the test of time. So if the foundation, which is the family, is faulty, then the society as well will be faulty. So if the family gives the child the right training, the right perception, the right view of the society, and the right character to follow, then there is no way of having the kind of children we are having today in the society. Because as a teacher, when you relate with kids, you see that most times when you do certain things, or when you tell them certain things, they will tell you, let me ask my mom, or let me ask my dad. Showing that a family has a lot to do with what the society has a lot to do with the growth of the society. Because if a child is really influenced by what the father is saying and what the mother is saying, then if the mother and the father give the child the right foundation, then the society will be a better place for us. And all these vices that we are seeing in the society today will not be there. And then the family corrects the child in the right way. Because the problem we're having today is that most times the father and the mother, the family do not even understand that some of the things that they are telling their daughters and their sons to do is wrong.
A damaged society stems from the family, you know, and if the parents can do their work very well in raising the kids, I guess we'll have a better society, you know. So most of the vices we see in the society stems from bad parenting. So if people from a broken home, they tend to reflect the attitude in society.
Family is a vital institution that help in molding the society. Very, very important. Because every character starts from the family. It starts from the day a child is born. Start molding characters. So parents are very vital in the family. No matter how busy they are, they will devote time to take care of the children. So that when they grow at later age, they will be very valuable to the society. So I'm advising parents to be very careful with their children. Make out time, stay with them, study them. Whatever bad they are doing, caution them in time. Because it's like the way you bring them out is the way they will be. Okay? Monitor them. Not being too harsh, but reasoning with them. Most of the time, sometimes they need pain, not always. But always talk with them, try to prick their mind to understand why things is good and why something is not good.
Family is the unit, it's a unit of the society. And if the unit is not functioning well, the society is down. So the family is the first stage in development. Immediately you are born, you relate with your immediate family. And there are some values, positive values. I'm not saying at school now, but I don't believe it starts from the family. So that when you stay together, pray together, eat together. In those days, the Igbo man, an average Igbo man, they see new. But now when you put one out, it doesn't make for a family. In one you're and somebody at an age as alright makes impact on life. You know, when we are younger, all of us will not depend. No, you're going to be child family on it. You see, that's a union, that's communion. But somehow these days, everybody takes its own. This is mine, and it doesn't add value to the society. So in order for society to move, not the church has a role, but the family as a unit must be united.
Welcome back. It is a Good Morning Anambra, and we are still looking at the topic, Good Families, Better Society, to commemorate the 2023 International Day of Families. And I still have Barrister Chizoba Nabo with me, and then Onyi Edokwa. You're still welcome to this program. Gentlemen. Okay, like I said, you know we don't have women here, so all of you are men, gentlemen. Okay, yes, I said that when we come back, we'll start looking at... As long as you're at this table, we're all men. Okay, so that's it. Let's look at what to do to ensure that we have a good family. I'm starting with you, please.
Okay. Well, a lot of things to be done. First of all, adequate preparation for marriage. Very important. And aside from the preparation, after the wedding, there should be accompaniment of spouses by experienced spouses. This accompaniment will help the newlywed to navigate through the difficulties of early years of marriage. Another thing is that parents should make out time, quality time, to parent their children. They should not abdicate their parental responsibilities or abandon their children to what John Paul II described as orphans of living parents, meaning that their parents are alive, but they are orphans. Again, this issue of looking at housewives, as people who are jobless, should not be so. Housewives are not jobless. It is not degrading. A housewife contributes to the economic prosperity of the family, helps in the stability, of the family by providing some necessaries like cooking, washing, and doing all sorts of things, and also providing emotional stability for the man who goes to work outside the home. So, housewives should be more appreciated. Another is that government should also help to promote the family by creating family-friendly environment to help families to thrive, because they are very important in preparation of children. For instance, this issue of ASHA, this Anambra State insurance, that limits the number of children to be covered under the policy to 4, is wrong, is discriminatory, is anti-life, in fact. So that it should be extended to every member of the family. After all, it's an insurance. It's like a pool. Everybody is not sick at the same time. So it should be addressed. And then, if this is addressed, it will put less pressure on families to be taking care of their children, the health needs of their children. Government should also help, education-wise, by subsidizing education, and also give free education up to secondary school level, and then rejig the education system to make it more of technical, because that is the only assurance to self-reliance. It will help us to build a skill-based economy. These are some.
Okay, some of them. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
some of
look at
the-
it. When ndị Igbo si na nwa dị njọ asị na ọ nie. My mother will always say that when you go out there singing azụrụ gị azụ, it's me that talking to, not you. Because na nwatakịrị ya dị azụ onwe na ọ nie na azụ ya. So when they say na azụrụ nwa azụ, they indirectly abusing the mother. So you're a woman. So what do we do to ensure that this kind of abuse does not come to us as mothers when it comes to training our children?
Thank you very much. We said before now, ọbụna family dị mma, society anyị adị mma. Ịba na ọbụna school ka ịbịa, ọbụna ụlọ ka ịbịa, born at church, wherever, let me just use society. If you come outside and you see a child, see from a very sound family, you know by their conduct. So because of that, there's need for parents to be intentional in training, in nurturing their home. When we're talking about family, it's not only the children, the parents are there too. So in the family, husband, be careful how you treat your wife. The wife, be careful how you treat your husband, because that's what the children are emulating. If you want your children to be peaceful at home. If you want them to be sincere, let them see you be sincere parents. If you want them to be honest, let them see honesty. If you want them to show love, let them see love. If you want them to be a bully your wife, bully your husband. And when sometimes children will come in with threats from outside, that's why it is you have to be intentional in setting rules, in training and doing what you want to do at home. Once you see that threat that are not there, begin on time to caution. Set rules, not rigid rules, but rules with love. Rules with love. How to relate with siblings. Some siblings that have this kind of entitlement mentality. As a mother, as a father, if you allow it to linger, if you allow them to grow with it, because entitlement mentality starts from baby. Do you understand? You see her struggling toys, believing that I'm the owner of the
boys don't watch plays. They don't
believe that this toy is my own. I'm the owner of the toy because I'm the baby. We are the mother. No. You are the baby, but then you cannot have all the toys when your siblings don't have any. Do you understand me? When it comes to house chores, balance it. You can't be a boy and you're watching television or you're pressing your phone. Your sisters, they are cooking, washing plates, sweeping, doing everything. No, this has to be balanced. And in everything, let there be equal love. Mothers, I know sometimes there's this child that you have soft spots for. But even when you have that soft spot for that child, subdue it and balance the nurturing.
Subdue it. I think that you guys are very, very good at that, choosing one among them.
But if people, mom not be in a village, they are my child.
It seems to be very natural.
But if that's why I said, sometimes it comes natural because it's that in your family there will be this. I say, I want to drink water. That one will rush to go and get water. The other one will be waiting for you to call his or her name before they will go. Do you understand me? You say, come and sweep here. By the time I get back, sweep here. He will not sweep until you come home to shout. But there's someone say, don't make mommy angry. That one that is always looking out for you. It's natural that your heart will always go out for him or her. But it's not left for you to know that whatever you do, others will say, like it. Even that one that is stubborn will start justifying that stubbornness because of your actions. But even when you have that passport for the other one, try to just, do you understand me, balance things. Sometimes I tell parents, when you have issue with your husband, when you have issue with your wife, be careful that the children are watching. You can handle it without the children being, as in playing it out for the children to know. Because when you beat your husband or when you beat your wife, you don't tell your son not to beat the sister. Why are you beating your sister? Do you understand me? And then, meanwhile, you saw you and your husband fighting. And when you use abusive words on your spouse, you don't tell your sister, your child, don't abuse your siblings. So, be intentional. By first of all, nurturing yourself, culture yourself. That thing that you want them to be that thing, then let them see it. And when they are deviating, don't hesitate to put them back to where you want them to be. Do you understand me? Intentional. But don't hesitate because you know what you are doing. You've mapped out your strategy. Now, you can't go out and show my for now. So because you can't go out and bring bad name to me, I want my own angle of the society, my own small corner of the society to be good. Do you understand me? It makes you to be conscious of everything, your dealings in that home. And you know, you said something now before. Now here there are more things that divides us now than what unites us. Yes, it starts from home. Teenage life can be okay. Mommy, when you can if you start taking side, you have finished that home. If you say my father, if you say Oyenka make, he will say, okay, don't worry, he will call Oyenka. By the time two of you put your mellows, he will just ask you, he will just leave you people and go. Do you understand me? So next time, you're not, because you're not expecting him to take, you'll be forced to do the right thing.
Be forced to do the right thing, and that's the most important thing.
Do you understand me?
Do the right thing, and then we'll have a better society.
A better society.
Because when the families are good, definitely the society have no other place to come from if not from the family.
Most importantly, you hand it over to God.
Yes.
Because He's the author and the maker and the finisher of everything. So.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. We have looked at this topic, good families, better society, to commemorate the 2023 International Day for Families. And if you have watched us or started with us from the beginning, I'm sure you will know that we have really done justice to this topic. And I would like to thank the wonderful parents that joined me this morning to do that. Barrister Chizoba Nabo, he is the president, Civilization of Love Foundation, and also a father and motivational speaker. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. And then Onyi Edukwa is the coordinator of Young Couples Forum. I thank you very much. Is it every couple, or do you have your where are you localized?
Basically from the 1 to 15, but these days some people like 18, 20 still, if you're about my this thing is from 15, from day 1 of marriage to even courtship to 15
really?
years, to 15 years. But left for you, I still interact.
Okay, it's a foundation kind of.
Not really. It's a forum.
Okay, it's a forum.
Yes.
Okay, but perhaps you are looking at that thing that you saw when you were growing up, the woman that was bringing up.
Something like
that's
that.
a good one. Thank you very much, Onyi Edokwa. Thank you for coming this morning. I'd like to thank you all that made it happen this morning. My cameramen, the coordinators from the other side, director, audio, and a whole lot of people that made it happen today. Even the producer, Ify. Thank you very much for making it happen. My name is Sijama. God willing, we're going to be here tomorrow morning, and we'll start from where we stopped. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anambra.